most up-and-coming players on the planet. Beastmode and Daniel, some of the youngest guns in RLCS, and have taken the last season by storm. LJ, the same thing, but he didn't get as many LAN appearances, or I actually don't think he got a LAN appearance at all. Maybe next year will be the time, or maybe now will be the time where he shows himself on a greater stage. Same with Chronic. 10 seconds into game number one. Already, we are seeing both these teams diving without any hesitation.
This is going to be, we saw quite a bit of some mechanical prowess there, specifically in game one of that last series. And then we saw Razeable and CRR continue that on while Zanil and Chi struggled a bit, specifically with the resources. But I'm going to tell you right now, Bass, my prediction is this is going to be a high-flying match. This is going to be reset after reset, air dribble after air dribble, double touches on display. The amount of mechanical ability in this lobby right now is absolutely impeccable, incredible, huge, massive, whatever we want to say about it, and I'm ready to watch this thing. I'm glad we get 7 games, potentially 7 games.
Potentially. I still do feel like if any of the series we're going to see today are going to go to 7, it's either this one or the grand finals, just because of the caliber of the players we've seen. All right, let's make a bet ahead of time here, though, Hoodie. Do you think we see another double flip reset? Zanil hit the only one we have seen all day. With the 4 players we have in this lobby, I'm feeling like we might see another one.
I think we could definitely see one. I'm going to predict that we don't, and here's my reasoning. My reasoning is that double reset, you got to have a little bit of space, and I don't think that these guys are going to give much space. I think there's so much speed here in this lobby that we will see some mechanical prowess. They're going to have some mechanical prowess to put one past the defenders, but I don't know if we're going to get enough time for a double reset. With that being said, Chronic shut down immediately on his air dribble. Daniel deflects one away out to Beast, who sends it down the field. Chronic can be the first to this. Full tank in the corner. Lots of space in the air. He does get one reset, drops to the ground. Has to go for the 50-50 because Dan is right there in its face. LJ flicks down the sideline, but Beast is going to catch it. Absorb that challenge. Daniel may have an open net to look at. He sure does. Daniel strikes first here in game number 1.
All right, hold up. I got to watch this one back. I'm a little bit confused. I get it. So Daniel goes high, just kind of waits for Chronic to challenge, and LJ actually bumps him off the ball. Chronic was expecting a 50. Daniel doesn't get a 50 because he's bumped off, and all of a sudden, it's an open net. Miscommunication for sure. Also probably the weirdest goal we're going to see all day.
Good start for Dan and Beast. We said it a couple times earlier and once or twice yesterday. It's comforting, grabbing that first goal in the game. It's going to allow you to be a little bit more risky, a little bit more confident with your gameplay, both offensively and defensively. Chronic knocks one off the sidewall. LJ's going to be the first to it. Dan, great control on the backboard. Beastmode having to run around and escape that demo from LJ. Chronic's the first to it. Patience on display here from Daniel and Beastmode. Understanding where the threat is. Daniel, once again, exhibiting some patience here, understanding situation, passes over to Beastmode, back to Daniel. Daniel, around one, but it's off target. Chronic, there for the challenge. Beastmode looking for the pass across to Dan. Dan is there, takes a shot, puts it high. Chronic, out to the side. Will get a touch over Beast. Daniel gonna be there. Chronic almost with a ceiling recovery. LJ bumped out of the way in Beastmode. He will capitalize. 2-0 for Dan and Beast.
Oh, boy. All right, good. Daniel does get the assist on that one. I was worried that they might not give it to him, but with a bump like that, you have got to give him the assist. Just absolutely takes the entirety of the lobby out the way. And all of a sudden, we're seeing something I wasn't expecting. You and I both said, yeah, it's probably going to be a pretty aggressive game. Both teams going to get in the face of each other. Daniel and Beastmode getting a lot more space than I expected. Another good example. Daniel, flip reset one, gets it over the other, wants the double. LJ takes it away. But then notice how Beastmode, no one's even around him. Eventually, Chronic will get back, but not before the shot is put on target. I'm a bit surprised. LJ and Chronic looking kind of slow-paced right now, and that's surprising considering the way they played yesterday.
Yeah, on that note, though, yesterday they kind of had a slow start. I wouldn't expect that again because I imagine these guys are acquainted with one another and very acquainted with Daniel and Beastmode, but it may just be a tendency of theirs, you know, slow start, maybe get warmed up in the series or whatever it may be. Daniel, a couple of touches off the sidewall, will get it past one. Beastmode with a diving save at the last moment. Demoed for his troubles. LJ, a net to look at. Daniel with a diving save at the last moment. Closing in on the final 60 seconds here. Beastmode's going to get it past both, and on the ground double, he'll put in a third.
All right, again, this is another one of those plays where I feel like I got to watch this one back. Chronic going for the bumps, and LJ just dives too early, bumps into Chronic, and he cannot complete his recovery. I hate to say it, but this does feel very similar to what we saw yesterday. LJ and Chronic not very in sync to start off the series. Maybe that'll change as we get further into this one. They had a worse deficit yesterday, but I'm not necessarily too hopeful considering the fact that they are definitely being clowned by the way that both Daniel and Beast Mode are playing on the line here. It's not just the fact that the offense is given space, it's also they have 6 saves on the line. This has been all Daniel and Beast Mode game 1.
That's right. And obviously it's easy to spot the offensive prowess. It's easy to spot the highlight clips and see when players are popping off offensively. Sometimes it kind of goes unnoticed when the defense is impressive, and I think that's definitely something that we're seeing here. Speaking of impressive defense, we're going to see the opposite on display. Daniel, yeah, well, he just provides them with a freebie, I guess. Maybe he felt bad for them because they got off to an early start there, but 29 seconds left. LJ's going to get credited for the goal. They put 1 in.
I do think, what series was it yesterday that we saw like a own goal almost immediately? Was it the series with LJ and Chronic? I feel like it was a series with LJ and Chronic where almost immediately we saw an own goal. And I was a little bit surprised by that. So, you know, maybe it's just kind of the trick of the trade. That's how they get a good series, is that they need one good own goal, and then they can turn everything around. Not going to happen here in game number 1. Instead, Beast Mode's going to turn the opposite way and turn one into the net.
Well, Daniel's going to pull it up into the air. Gets blocked by LJ, but guess who's there for the pickup? Beast Mode, and the first touch is a reset. Beautiful execution, and that's probably going to lock things up for game number 1. 17 seconds left, a 3-goal deficit. It's probably going to be too much for LJ Chronic, but not as bad as their start to yesterday. I think we did see some sloppy gameplay here and there. Daniel's going to make one more save. A nice shot from LJ. Chronic looking to make something happen here in the waning moments. LJ does get his reset. A little bit of a team high five there in the air. That's going to conclude game number 1. Beast Mode and Daniel, 4-1 scoreline. Off to a great start here in the second semifinal of Championship Sunday.
And we knew that this would probably go this way, at least to kick off the series. Again, both you and I were agreeing that this was going to be an uphill battle for LJ and Chronic. If they wanted to win this one, they had to not only pull out all the stops, but really catch Daniel and Beast Mode off guard, considering the previous matchup between these two teams went heavily in favor of Daniel and Beast Mode. So, LJ and Chronic, I think everybody here, including the audience, has belief in you guys to make this a good series. The only concern, I think, for everybody is if this becomes too large of a lead. Again, we saw this for both Zanil and Cheese in the last series. Yes, the last couple of games were extremely competitive. That was after they had already gotten smattered 2 games in a row and had to try and climb back from that. So, LJ and Chronic, I'm going to say, this probably will be the most important game of the series for you guys at this, well, not even at this point, just in general. You can't stop the train that is Daniel and Beast Mode. I don't know how close the series is really going to be.
I agree with you.
Never mind. Never mind.
Okay, Chronic must have heard you. He says, all right, Bass, if we got to do it now, I'll do it now. Nice clear off the backboard. He's going to be the first to it. Sets up that double touch. Wonderful execution. Puts it back post behind Daniel. And this time, Chronic and LJ will strike first.
That may be what I was talking about. Just kind of slightly similar to what I was hoping for. I will say, hey, Chronic, you know, it's no double flip reset, but it is the narrowest angle we have seen all day by far. Although maybe Daniel can one-up him here. Decent catch off the ceiling. He's got a flip in the back. Gets the flip reset as well. 50-50. LJ keeps it out and cannot keep out the following. Beast Mode there for the rebound. And, man, I'm a bit disappointed this went in because just let Daniels go in. That was disgusting.
LJ did make an incredible save there, pinching it between the post and the crossbar in that top corner. Kept it out for just one more moment. Beast Mode there for the follow-up. 4:34 on the clock. A lot of game left to be played here in game number 2. Chronic, no boost. We'll keep it out for now. LJ on the air dribble, bumped by Daniel, said it. That's not fast enough. You need to move out of my way. Daniel just continuing to disrupt the opponents. Beast Mode, a little bit of space. Not much boost to work with. Now Chronic going to take his turn disrupting. I think these players maybe feeling a little bit aggressive here in game number 2.
I think this is just kind of the trends of the new generation, if you will. I remember on Daniel's rise to success, so many players I would hear about in tournaments were just like, I don't like playing against Daniel. Not because of the fact that, like, he's too good for me to figure out. He's just annoying to play against. It's just these bumps on repeat, these mechanical plays that you can't seem to get around. He's just in your face all the time. Him and Evo, I would hear that complaint all the time of players who are just like, I don't know how to play against them. And, well, LJ, another one of those players that people have been touting for a long time that could be that real threat. Chronic, the one to technically be the threat here, sets up LJ perfectly, and they will take the lead with 3:36 on the clock.
Daniel Waited just a hair too long to decide to go up, and I think he realized he wasn't going to win the race to that challenge, so he decides to side flip out of it, but not good enough. LJ's going to be there for the tap in. Chronic and LJ here in game 2, having a lot more luck, I guess, with the offensive press. Beastmode, a sharp angle, does take the shot. A little bit wide. LJ with the pinch. He's going to send it down the sideline. Daniel will be the first to it. Has plenty of control, plenty of boost off his backboard. It's a first reset. Gets a second. Almost gets a second one, excuse me. Beastmode. Going to cut things off at midfield. Chronic with a win. Daniel back just in time. LJ Demo might open a shot opportunity here for Chronic. Takes the immediate shot, top left corner. Beastmode will make the save. Nice 50 at the midfield. Chronic. Slow play. Bumps Beast off the ball. LJ slides in, picks up. Does get the air dribble and the reset. Puts it past Daniel. LJ going to extend that lead to 2.
We talk about choreographed plays. Yeah, you knew exactly what LJ was going for here. Daniel knew it as well. At a certain point, he kind of just had to sit back and watch the show. Straight over his head, straight into the net. And, well, yesterday, it took LJ and Chronic 2, almost 3 games to start getting warm. This time, it took them maybe a game before they made this one competitive. This is going to be a much different series than what we saw yesterday out of them. Oh, and maybe Daniel and Beast Mode. That's just filthy.
Oh, my goodness. They're just a team that you just cannot give any space. You've got to respect every threat. Air dribbles, flip resets, fake flip resets, air dribbles into flip resets, flip reset 50-50s in the corner. They've got every trick in the book. Daniel and Beast Mode, terrifying to play against. The speed, the mechanics, it's all there. Chronic will send this one out to the wall. Daniel looking for the sharp angle double. Deflected at the last moment by LJ. Beast Mode, plenty of space to work with. LJ up quickly. Shuts down the reset before Beast Mode can land it. Chronic's going to land. Drop this off over to LJ. Nice air dribble from the backboard. Going to provide a little bit of space for LJ to clear. Worked it out towards midfield, but Daniel cuts it off and Beast Mode's the first to it. Looking for the aerial bump. Daniel sneaks forward.
Wait, really?
That might just creep in. LJ with a huge clear. Daniel hoping that things worked out on the offensive end for Beast Mode. LJ does a great job of avoiding getting bumped. Puts one more in, extends that lead to 3. 1:43 on the clock.
I'm kind of concerned at what we're seeing here. I do feel like there's one thing that people have said about Daniel and about Beast Mode for a very long time when it comes to series like this, is that they can be a bit over-eager, and that can kind of trickle into a mentality type of thing where it's like, okay, we haven't been able to, match their aggression thus far, so let's get more aggressive. Rather than trying to do what Zanil and Cheese did in the last game, which was allow that aggression and look for counterattack, they're trying to get in the face of LJ and Chronic, who are just routinely beating them in air. We've got about 80 seconds to go. I don't necessarily think they have enough time to turn this game around, but I'm hoping for the sake of Daniel and Beast Mode here, they don't get too aggressive for their own good. Here's another example. Beast Mode overcommits there, but they get lucky. Double demo, possibly a net. LJ trying to avoid the second one, but cannot. No. And Daniel puts in an easy open goal.
Wow. Beast Mode. Full steam ahead, Mad Max style. Oh my goodness, he got nice demo there on the second one. I don't think they were going to be able to make the save either way. Cuts the lead down to 2. 1:04 on the clock. And with those 2 on the other side, LJ and Chronic need to play this well. And that will be a comfort goal there. They're going to extend that lead back to 3. Minute left, just inside of a minute. Chronic quickly there for the challenge. He and Daniel both going for the block and neither making contact.
Not the goal they were looking for, or at least not the direction they were looking for. Probably Daniel and Beast Mode would have liked to have at least cut the lead down to 1, and then maybe they get a chance within the last minute here. LJ could steal the deal here. Flip reset in the bag. He's going to use it late. Beast Mode's going to recognize that. He'll get at least a 50-50, but it's going to go straight out to Chronic, who tries to pinch this one on target. Maybe that's what we will see the difference maker. We've been talking, I was going to say, we've been talking about a couple of different shots throughout this. Flip resets, ground dribbles, all that type of stuff. Hey, to the players listening, I'll type this in game after this. $10 PayPal to the first person to hit a Cutter pinch cross court. Bounces do not count. If you can go it straight on in, I got $10 for you on top of the, $3,500 in the prize pool.
Look at this, Bass. Oh my goodness. Bass is such a dedicated caster. He's offering prizes, rewards for these players hitting clips. LJ trying to keep that out at the last moment. 14 seconds left. I think they're going to be just fine. 2-goal lead here. Chronic and LJ almost connecting on an absolutely disgusting passing play. Unfortunately for us, blocked at the last moment. They should be just fine here. Beast mode. Probably going to put one more in.
Wait a minute.
And maybe I shouldn't speak so soon.
I mean, to be fair, I called this with, I think, about a minute 30 left. So if anybody's going to have egg on their face, it's most likely going to be me. The unfortunate reality here, though, is that they got to do this basically off the kickoff. They've got one chance at this one. If they miss it, they are not going to be able to do anything further. So, hold your breath in anticipation. Wait a minute, what? Daniel just gets a clean beat, puts it center, but no, Beast Mode can't get to it in time. He's still got an open net, though. Puts it top left, and with 1 second to go, we could be heading to overtime.
What happened on the kickoff? I'm going to save this replay because I want to go back and look at what happened. I do not understand. It looked as if both players went and they, like, bumped one another. Disaster strikes. LJ and Chronic
oh, no.
are going to be extremely frustrated if they let this one slip away. Wait a second. LJ with some space here. Flicks it past one. Chronic there for the finish. LJ and Chronic, in dramatic fashion, will go ahead and snag game number 2.
And as if I thought that the 1 second goal was going to be the most exciting part of this game, LJ and Chronic just have to one-up it and score on 0. They had a single second to score that. If Daniel or Beast Mode had just challenged that ball at a midfield and at least gotten them to drop it, we'd be in an overtime right now. But instead, they give just the littlest space, something you and I thought there would be none of. Yet somehow, with at least a couple of centimeters, we're wrapping up game number 2. And I love this from Beast Mode. That was awesome. He does not care they lost. He's excited by how that concluded.
That definitely was awesome. I mean, I remember saying it. I said it was 27 seconds, whatever it was. I said, well, you know, 2 goals left. I don't think they're going to be able to bring this one back. And lo and behold, they sure do. And if that's not enough entertainment, the guys say, hey, you know what? We'll go ahead and score again with 1 second left. So incredible. This is what one of the things I love about 2v2. There's just a little bit more space on the field. And these guys, man, they are impressive. You know, half of us in the chat can't even just dribble that ball on our hood like that. We can't even keep it in the air, let alone, you know, get the flick over a world caliber defender like Daniel. Incredible stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, that's only game 2. We got at least 3-4 more left here. Maybe we go all 7. We'll see what happens. Let's get game number 3 underway.
Oh, boy. Again, all I want to see at this point, double flip reset or a Cuxer pinch. We've seen pretty much every single shot in the book at this point as well. Although, I do want to see, we saw this out of Chronic and LJ. They went for the read off either the ceiling or the backboard, and it was pretty impressive. If they can get a redirect like that, I feel like we've seen every shot possible in Rocket League at this point. But Chronic going to go for something a little bit more traditional here. Flip reset in the back. No, he leads it to LJ, but neither one of them can connect. Beast Mode doesn't recognize till the last second, so he doesn't get much of a breakaway play, but another bump out of LJ and Chronic. I can't tell if they're trolling or if they're just doing this unintentionally.
Either way, it looks like it actually might work out. LJ drops one top shelf just under the bar. Chronic doing a great job of exhibiting some patience there. Gets it up over one, gets that flip reset and the block. Pops it high, and once again, they're going to strike first here in game number 3.
Well, last time they were able to build themselves, I think it was a 3-goal lead at the maximum. Let's see if maybe they can hold on to their lead this time. 45 seconds into this, they should, or maybe not have a second goal. It was a breakaway on kickoff, but the bump's going to distract the team for at least now. And as Daniel does not read this one out of the corner, it'll be the end of the offense for the blue team. Chronic, again, given so much space here. He gets a bump on one, cannot get it around Daniel. But yeah, LJ's going to be up for this one very early. Tries to communicate with his teammate to get a pass out, but it is not quite communicated enough. It may still work out, though, for the team in blue, as all of a sudden Beast Mode finds an open net and does not miss.
That's a tough one. I like the idea from LJ, trying to drop it across the field to Chronic. Unfortunately, Chronic didn't have the boost to turn on the play. Rotated a little bit too wide for that pass. Daniel bops it down the field. Beast Mode there for the finish. We're all level here, 1-1. Plenty of game left to be played here. Daniel. Nice challenge at the midfield. He's going to drop it down to the orange backboard. Picks up his corner boost. Gets a reset. Does get it past one. Beast Mode there for the finish. Daniel and Beast Mode respond once again immediately and reclaim the lead.
I promise you I'm not laughing at a disrespect. I'm just laughing because of how that one got played out. Chronic makes a great save, and Beastmode's just literally waiting there. Side flips into the ball. The easiest shot we've probably seen all day. Probably the simplest one we will see all day as well. 90 seconds into this, Daniel and Beastmode looking pretty clean, but last series, battle of the defenses. We saw that the defense out of Cheese and Zanil is what held them in the game. Meanwhile, Racewell on the other side had to kind of make up for those moments where CRR was over-aggressive out of midfield. This game, battle of the offenses. You can just tell the two teams are going to get aggressive at each other. Doesn't mean the defense can't stand up. Beastmode, what a save on the line.
Oh, the double commit. Can Chronic get back to it? He is goal side. I think Daniel May could have left that for a teammate. We'll never know. They do still hold on to this lead. LJ, some boost in the tank, out towards the midfield. Chronic's going to take a shot. Dan in position. Nice collection on the backboard. Sends it out to a teammate. Beast mode. Control first touch. The flip reset over one. Daniel's up. Opts to go for the reset again. Trying to keep this thing in the offensive end. Beast mode backs off. Sends it back to the orange backboard. Gets the demo. Looks for a secondary bump. Daniel, can he get it around LJ? No, he can't. LJ out of the corner. Misses the follow-up touch. Beast mode pops to the backboard. Chronic going to take over. Air dribble out towards the midfield. Gets a dunk as well. Looking for the bump. Steals that corner boost. Daniel with a clear. LJ having a half flip to get back. Leaves the corner boost. Dan's going to pick it up. LJ working through this corner. Does provide a nice 50 challenge against Beast mode. Now Chronic up high. Daniel with the fake challenge. Creativity here defensively on display. Daniel, plenty of space. Actually blocked by LJ at the last moment. Does get it around one. Chronic nowhere to be found. At the back getting boost. Plenty of space for Dan. Off the sidewall. Gets the reset. Puts it near post. Chronic with a perfect read will keep them at bay for now. LJ full tank. Chronic in the mid. Blocked by Dan. And Bass, we're just seeing a huge back and forth. Both teams providing some pressure, getting some opportunities, but the defense standing strong.
I am very excited to see how either one of these teams play against CR and Racewell, because this feels very similar to their style. Well, it's kind of just, all right, go all aggression and disregard the defense. If we can get back in time, we can get back in time. If not, we will try to outscore our opponents and just do that as our winning strategy. 80 seconds left here on the clock. It doesn't necessarily feel like LJ and Chronic are out of this one yet, but they do need to try and find a breakaway that they can actually put a solid shot on. So many times we've seen them on the half of Daniel and Beast mode, and they just haven't really been able to do much with it. That being said, I also kind of feel like both sides are kind of just going for these, I'm not going to say nonsense plays, but less choreographed, more if it arrives, it arrives. A good example, LJ was just kind of bumping there while Chronic was in a 1v1. This time they get a passing play, but not enough power. Beast mode there to make the save. With 50 seconds to go, it looks like LJ and Chronic have started up what could be their last offense of the game. Can they at least get a shot on target and send us to overtime?
LJ in a favorable position here. Chronic does have a full tank of boost. Pops to the sidewall. Daniel, nice pinch. Going to run some precious time off this clock. 30 seconds left. Chronic looking to get it past one. He's got LJ in the mid. Flings it across with Beast mode with a nice read. Wait a second. LJ shot does not have enough power to get past Daniel. He will go ahead and snag that corner boost. The half flip flick. It's going to keep it alive in the corner. Chronic there for the challenge. LJ in Beast mode. 50-50 pinches out towards the midfield. Beast mode is going to be the first to it. Sends it to the corner. Chronic has to make a touch here. Daniel steals the boost. Turns on it, and he should be able to put this into the ground. The flip reset on the goal line. Beast mode there for the finish. Chronic's actually going to keep it alive here. Dan will finally put this to the ground, and Dan in Beast mode will take game number 3.
It's in just as narrow a fashion as game number 2 as well. No 0-second heroics. I will say that that did not happen again, but it is still yet another one-goal ball game. After the first game, where Daniel and Beast mode came out the gates just absolutely battering the team, this is going to look like more what we should expect. This is kind of the series that both you and I were thinking going into this one. This is probably what the audience was thinking going into this one as well. And now the question is who thinks they're going to take this series overall? I have a feeling that both these teams are confident that they could be the ones coming out on top. My biggest question, though, is when do we see the cohesion at LJ and Chronic that you and I had seen yesterday? I don't think we have seen that yet. We've had a lot of solo plays that have looked impressive, but in terms of that duo ability, those bump plays that we saw yesterday, not a lot of those being enforced quite yet.
Yeah, a couple miscommunications here and there, especially early in that game right there. We saw a couple of double commits and silly plays where they probably just could have taken their time and sent one person after it. Daniel. Sneak attack. The challenge from behind there. Chronic. The reset does put it on target. Beast Mode sends it to the corner. Daniel's going to be the first two with a flip reset. Excuse me, a free flip, not a flip reset. Too many mechanics these guys have in the tank. I don't know what they are.
You think we're going to see, what was it? Fetlix reset? What's it called?
I think that's right.
I think that's right. Fetlix reset. I'd love to see that. I don't think I've seen a goal in a professional series with that quite yet. I think we saw like maybe one in OCE like earlier on, but besides that, it is kind of dissipated. Similarly, so as the defense of Daniel in Beast Mode. That was not the save they were looking for.
Yeah, definitely not. I think this is something that if you send that shot at Beast Mode 1,000 times, all 999 other ones, he probably makes the proper touch. Chronic and LJ get away with a free one there. LJ with a quick turn. We'll put it on target. Beast Mode pops to the corner. Something we talked about last series was the boost starvation and how dominant CRR and Razebull were in that category. This time, we've seen both teams using it to their advantage. Beast Mode to the backboard. A sling puts it down low. Chronic there for the catch. Daniel a little bit out of position. No boost in the tank. Will be able to make the save. Beast Mode pops it out of the box. LJ drops it down for Chronic. Daniel sends it away. Dan with a big clear. Beast Mode there for the redirect. Pops it to the backboard. Is Dan there for the finish? No, he's not. LJ, plenty of space. Pulls it high. It's a pass Beast Mode. Daniel will snag control from his own corner. Drops it down. Looks for the wave dash flick. Beast Mode, no way does he recover. Oh my goodness. Just off target. Dan. A little bit of over-aggression there. Ends up working out. Plenty of boost here. Does get his reset. LJ calls the bluff. Beast Mode back into his own corner. Bass. We're seeing a lot of early challenges from both teams. No one wanting to allow the other the space or time to put those mechanics on display.
Again, this is what I was talking about before with Daniel and Beast Mode. The one weakness, if any weakness that this team has, is their over-aggression. Every once in a while, they push a bit too far up, and as a result, they're in a really awkward position on defense. Again, this is kind of something we have seen, the adjustments, I would say, out of Daniel in particular with his transition onto SSG. I remember watching Daniel in so many 1s, 2s, 3s tournaments on his rise to success, and in those events, he was so aggressive, so in your face, faster than almost everybody on the pitch. But once he got an SSG, we started to see a little bit of a transition. He was able to play more of an all-around role, and that did wonders for him. The issue is that in his tendencies and 2s, it's still somewhat aggression. And Beast Mode, similar ways, very aggressive. If LJ and Chronic can recognize that, which they've done a couple of times here, they might just be able to get those counterattacks that are able to open up some space and take those goals that'll put them in their favor. That being said, they've only got a 1-goal lead right now. With 2 minutes to go and the aggression that is still being outpoured by Daniel and Beast Mode, all they need is one good shot, and they're right back into this game.
Absolutely. I think LJ and Chronic are doing a great job right now, staying calm and holding on to possession when they can defensively. But this 1-goal lead is definitely not safe against a team like Dan in Beast Mode. Chronic is going to have to air dribble this into his own corner, looking for that pinch. Only as far as Beast Mode. Chronic on 0. LJ perched on the backboard. Daniel looking to get this across the face of the net. Chronic does have possession, but he has nothing in the tank to make the transition work. Daniel to the backboard. Can he get the angle down and in? No, he can't. Leaves it for Beast Mode. Pops it high. Patience from Dan in Beast Mode.
Daniel. All right, it's an easy first touch. No Beast Mode to follow up on the rebound there. Chronic instead in the corner is actually going to wait for the touch out of Beast Mode. LJ waits a bit too long here. Maybe thought that Daniel was further back out at midfield, but unless he had no boost in the tank, which I believe he did. No boost in. He actually had to pick up a penny, and it wasn't enough.
Not enough speed. I love this play from Dan and Beast. We're seeing some patience there. This is something that I see from my own ranked games all the way up to pro play. We feel this sense of urgency when we are down, and a lot of times you have so much time on the clock, and this is exactly what I'm getting at. Beast Mode's going to turn and put a second one in. We don't have to rush. These guys recognize, yeah, we're down 1, but we got a minute 50 left. They slowly play that possession, trap LJ and Chronic on defense, keep them in the orange end of the field, and eventually LJ just not able to reach that shot from Dan, and then immediately following it up, Beast Mode able to strike once more, and they grab that lead here in game number 4.
I cannot believe how quickly that one turned around. I mean, we had almost 4 minutes of play where LJ and Chronic hold on to a 1-goal lead. All of a sudden, it dissipates, and it not only dissipates, it's the end of the lead altogether for LJ and Chronic. They don't even have a chance, really, right now to do much with the ball, although there's the open space. Finally, they do get Beast Mode off the ball. Maybe Chronic can do something with it. Flip reset in the bag, but Daniel quick to dispossess and send it the other way. 30 seconds to go here, Hootie. There's a chance for LJ and Chronic. It could be right now, but not with another cutout in the midfield. Yet again, Daniel in Beast Mode, the speed that has been at their advantage comes to their advantage again.
Final 15. Chronic working from his corner. Daniel having none of it. LJ, do we have some more 0-second heroics? The flick cut out by Beast Mode. Chronic over to the wall. Don't think he has a ton of boost. He will have a little bit. Daniel up early, gets the challenge down. Daniel in Beast Mode advanced to match point in a 3-1 lead. Bass. We said it during the game. You cannot sit on that 1-0 lead against a team of this caliber. They can turn it on in a moment's notice, and they did just that.
Not only can they turn it on in a moment's notice, but they can also just continually put on shots until eventually you break. And that's the big thing here is that, again, LJ and Chronic were trying to put on shots, but none of them were all too lethal. Daniel and Beast Mode, if they did put something on target, it was very, very difficult to save. And we saw that on repeat just because LJ and Chronic, they were in great positions, but they just didn't really know how to wrap themselves around the ball, some sort of misrotation, and they are taking advantage of again. This has got to be scary for LJ and Chronic. Last time they played them in a 2s tournament in the Intel one that we were talking about, this was the ending scoreline, 4-1. They got a single game early on, and then after that, they weren't really able to do too much against Daniel in Beast Mode. So can they change this fate here in this tournament instead? Hootie, we have seen some incredible results out of your tournaments before. Maybe we see another one here at LJ and Chronic.
I would sure love for this to go a little bit deeper into this series. I don't really mind whichever team wins. Obviously, we're just here for the entertainment, but a game 6, game 7, I'd be okay with it.
I'm all right with it. I'm somewhat partial to maybe having the team that I voted for win. But you know, either way, are you kidding me, Daniel? Never mind. That might be a difficult task if Daniel's literally ego challenging you on the ceiling.
Yeah, Dan, what a read here. My goodness. Just understands LJ is wanting to go high. Calls the read, calls the play, goes up, quickly challenges, and that's going to put Dan in Beast Mode on the board first. 40 seconds into this game, number 5. LJ and Chronic having to come from behind once more.
Have they made a comeback yet so far in the series? I feel like the only time they did win is when they had the lead early. They're not going to have the lead right now. 50 seconds into this one. Beast Mode gets a little bit of an assist here out of, I believe it was, Chronic. Gets a pinch, and that's a boomer under the bar.
That is pure calculation right there. Beast Mode using his opponents to snap a shot top shelf. Nice kickoff there. Daniel with an incredible save and clear. LJ with the back pass. Chronic's got some space. Saves the bounce. Opts to go high. Beast Mode up quickly. Chronic back to the ground. Looking for the bumps. LJ's there. Pops to the backboard. Can he get this one around? No, he can't. Daniel once again steps up to the plate with a nice clear. Chronic's going to pop this over to LJ. A 2v1 situation. LJ. Smart play. Pull it up into the air. Slow it down. Get that 50. Drop it for a teammate. Chronic there for the finish. Well done. They cut that lead in half. 3:40 on the clock. Plenty of time left.
Oh, yeah, plenty of time, especially if they're going to be making plays like that. That's the first time that cohesion, that unison ability that we talked about with Chronic and LJ, that's the first time it's really been on display, I would say, the entire series. We've seen a couple of team plays, but nothing like that. It may not matter, though. Never mind, LJ comes out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, 1v1 for the ones player. Chronic's been here before. What can he do with it? He can set up LJ, and LJ can snipe the top right from 2-0 to 2-2 in the blink of an eye.
These 4 players are just so dangerous. It's so much fun to watch. Beast Mode has to respect those flicks. He knows what Chronic can do with that ball. Chronic just opting to leave it. Didn't have a lot of boost in the tank. Instead of taking a chance himself, he's just going to keep that ball moving slowly, provide no power for Beast Mode to get a clear, and LJ walks in for the secondary follow-up finish. Daniel, big challenge win there. It's going to roll up the orange backboard. Daniel pops off the backboard once more. Beast Mode with the slow play himself is going to reclaim the lead for him and Daniel. The catch, the slow play, the mind game. LJ diving, Chronic diving, neither able to make contact. Beast Mode looking incredible.
That's just brilliant all around there. Not only is the first fake impressive, but honestly, the second one, to not go for a shot immediately on a diving player. Just get a 50-50. If you know they're coming in at an odd angle, if you can just calculate that correctly and force that one in, it is a much safer play than trying to go for an aggressive shot. Well, speaking of aggression, though, with 3 minutes to go, neither team necessarily needs that aggression, but I will say for Chronic and LJ, they don't want to let this momentum get away from them. If they can get a quick equalizer, they can play the rest of this game rather safe versus having to try to get in the face of Daniel and Beast Mode. Speaking of getting in the face, Daniel, again, these ego challenges are coming out of nowhere, and I don't think I've seen an unsuccessful one yet.
I think he just has a read on it. You know, he understands exactly what these players want to do, and he understands the tendencies of Chronic and LJ. He may even, I mean, I don't even know, but he has been playing with LJ recently. I'm not sure. He's definitely done his homework. Understands what his opponents are up to. Little under half the game left. Dan and B still up 1 for now.
LJ in the corner. He's got to read off the ceiling. What's he going to do with it? He goes for the demo instead.
Ooh.
Might work out, but Daniel barely able to get back to that one, and that's a clever play. We asked for some more demo and some more physicality out of the side of LJ and Chronic, but that time it doesn't necessarily work out. That's also not going to work out for Beast Mode. Simple shot on target, and he's going to have to retreat out to midfield with no boost in the tank, but he'll go right back to it again. Beast Mode and Daniel, they just seem to have a read on everything LJ and Chronic are going for, getting in their face before they can even develop a play. This time could be different, though. Off the backboard, Chronic is there, but met by a 50-50 from Daniel. With about 100 seconds left on the clock, if Chronic and LJ want a shot to continue the series, they've got to find that equalizer.
They're generating some pressure, and they do have a couple of opportunities, a couple chances. Lacking a little bit of quality. They do grab a double commit there from Daniel and Beast Mode. The recovery quick from Daniel. LJ with the demo. Beast Mode in an awkward position. Chronic going to have some time. Fires a shot, top left, off the post. Daniel with a clear. LJ, a very errant first touch. Daniel's going to be there to challenge it immediately. Daniel also snags a boost. Beast Mode dives. Daniel does have 100 in the tank. Gets flicked by LJ. Can Chronic get this down and in? No! Puts it off the post. Beast Mode and Daniel. A double commit. This could be problematic. Chronic is going to walk this one in. They panic on the backboard defensively. The first time we've seen that from these guys. And punished immediately.
I mean, it does make sense, to be honest, though. That was, it probably should have been a goal. At that point, you're just desperate to try and get it out after that roller off the bar. Double commit, a little bit unfortunate for Daniel and Beast Mode. The good thing for them, they've got 55 seconds, and even if they do lose this game, they've got multiple more games to shut out the series. Although, LJ could shut out this game if he can get a goal right now. Beast Mode, though, good touch off the backboard. Maybe got a flip reset. No, fakes it out, and instead baits Chronic into a 50-50 and baits LJ into a challenge as well. Beast Mode's got a bump, but LJ can get there before Daniel can, and doesn't matter. Daniel will get there for the second touch, narrowly avoids the defender, and they are back to a lead yet again.
Beast Mode doing a lot of the heavy lifting there. A couple of bump plays, disrupting Chronic. Puts him just out of reach of the shot. Daniel, great speed. Good power on the shot as well. Nice placement, just out of reach of Chronic. 37 seconds left. LJ will be the first to the touch. Unfortunately, just turns over possession to Daniel, who also grabs a midfield boost. Chronic does get an extra touch out to the corner. LJ trying to work this away from Beast Mode, struggling to get it by him. Chronic is going to pick this up. Once again, we see a double commit defensively from Dan and Beast Mode. Haven't seen that often. Chronic looking for the bump. Daniel does well to get away and clear the ball as well. LJ, 5 seconds left. Does have potential opportunity here. Daniel up early. Plenty of boost in the tank. He's going to clear this long. Chronic's got to keep it alive. We know the drill. Chronic up high. Can't make a second touch. Daniel pops high. Has some boost in the tank. All he's got to do is get it to the ground, and he will do so. GG's. Dan and Beast move forward to the grand finals.